welcome to the space that gives you inspiration on work, on life, and how to balance both worlds. We're still in our story time. I'm telling you my acne stroke Accutane story. And last week I shared that this week I was going to get a little bit deeper into Accutane, but I'm going to try and keep it as layman's language as I possibly can. So what exactly is Accutane? So first of all, it's an acne treatment, okay? But it's the kind of treatment that actually changes your entire skin DNA. Like you can start off as having an oily skin and you end up having a dry skin, or having an oily skin and then you end up having a combination skin. So it actually changes your skin DNA, and really what it does inside your skin is, you know what causes acne, right? Your sebaceous glands produce. Did I say I was not going to do any science without getting technical? So what am I doing? Anyway, let me try and keep it as layman's language as I possibly can. So our skins have sebaceous glands which produce oil to keep our skin moist. Now for us who are acne prone, unfortunately for us, when it does that, sometimes the dead skin, which we all have, our dead skin does not shed itself off really quickly, and so what happens is that dead skin stays on top and blocks our pores, which when the sebaceous glands want to come out to nourish our skin, guess what? They find dead skin, and that combo is it's such a juicy combo for bacteria. And yeah, the bacteria come in and then you'll either have blackheads or whiteheads or papules or whatever. So I mean, there's a whole lot, right? But anyway, I promised that I would not get too deep into it. So then how does Accutane work? The Accutane works in such a way that it goes into your bloodstream and into your skin and goes directly for the sebaceous glands and literally sucks out the oil by squeezing your skin pores together. Exactly. So by the time you're done with Accutane, essentially, all the oil has been squeezed from your skin pore and it has gone off onto the surface. And so many times, and I'm going to talk about this, what happens is when you're on Accutane, your breakouts become actually worse because your dead skin is still on, and then the Accutane is squeezing the sebaceous glands and the oils to come out, so you really do get worse. So anyway, it squeezes that out and then makes the skin, the pore so much tinier, okay? And then it also starts to shed off the dead skin. So that's how essentially Accutane works. Now, Accutane has various forms or various names. Some people call it Roaccutane, others call it isotretinoin, others call it Roatane or something like that. So it has various names, but ultimately it's Accutane, right? Yeah. Now, here's the thing about Accutane. It has serious side effects. Now, I'll allow you to go Google the serious side effects of Accutane, although in my next video, I'll share with you the actual side effects I experienced. Anyway, that aside, Accutane is taken over a period of either 6, 9, or 12 months. Some people, however, do go up to 18 and 24 months on this drug every day. It comes in various doses. Well, I guess every other drug does. So there's 10 milligrams, 20 milligrams, 30, 40, and sometimes you just need, they'll give you, like, if you're supposed to take 60 milligrams, they'll give you a 40 and like a 20, or they'll give you 3 20s, depending on your weight. So your doctor measures your weight and then determines, most times people take about their weight. So by the time I was taking the drug, I was maybe about 60 kilograms. And so we knew that the max that I could take was 60 milligrams, which I never got to. I feel cheated. But anyway, that's like your max, I guess, something like that. So you take it over either 6, 9, 12, 18, or 24 months, depending on the severity of your acne. And like I shared last week, you have to qualify to take this drug because it has some serious side effects. Yeah. And qualification is either because your acne is really severe or your acne just won't go despite any other kind of treatment. So that's how I qualified. Now, like I shared, it comes with very many side effects, to the point that when you're being taken on Accutane, first of all, you have to be on contraception. You're asked to be on at least 1 or 2 contraceptive methods. Why? You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot, I'll repeat it again, you cannot get pregnant while you're on Accutane. Because when you do, the chances of your child having a deformity, no, let me say that again. The chances of your child having a major deformity are high. Actually, even the people that produce the drugs are just like, just do not get pregnant. So at the point when the doctor says, yes, you've qualified for Accutane, then they'll ask you what are your forms of contraception. Yeah. So 2 is the best. Yeah. And guess what? You actually sign a pledge to say, 1, I'll not get pregnant. 2, I am on contraception. So that if by Holy Spirit chance you get pregnant and anything happens to your baby, you're not blaming the clinic. And this pledge is a pledge that is like with everybody around the world signs that pledge when they're taking Accutane. That's how serious Accutane is as a drug. As if that's not enough, your liver is tested literally either every month or every other month. Your liver has to be tested to see how it's faring on and how it's taking on this treatment. Yeah, guys, it's yeah, it really is a serious drug. And so one of the things that they tell you in terms of maintaining yourself as you take that drug, one, like I've shared, you can't get pregnant, so that's serious. But your skin is going to thin out, okay? Become really thin, I guess, with the contraction of your sebaceous gland and making your pores really small and tighter, and removing the dead skin off. Your skin becomes so thin to the point that you can almost literally see your veins. Yeah. So your skin becomes so thin, they'll tell you things like, you shouldn't do things like scrubs, you shouldn't do things like waxing, you shouldn't do things like tattoos. I mean, I went to microblade my brows, and they could not stick because the skin was so thin. Another time they were putting makeup on me to make me older, but my skin had become so thin and so tight that they couldn't find any wrinkles. Like, that's how, yeah. The other thing they'll tell you to maintain yourself as you take this drug is no or limited alcohol. In fact, when you take the alcohol, you're advised not to take the drug. So 6 months, I know of people who, when they were told no alcohol, they were like, it's okay, let me keep my acne on my face. Yeah, but you're not allowed to have alcohol, because then it will have an effect on your liver, which is already overworking because of the drug. Another thing that they'll tell you is that you need to use sunscreen. Sunscreen is going to become your friend. So you know how, like, in our minds, are like, but I'm black, melanin all over. What do you mean I need to use sunscreen? I tell you, you have to use sunscreen while you are on Accutane. In fact, you literally put it on your skin every 2 hours. Yeah, it's that bad. It is, really. because the sun rays, because your skin is so thin, the sun rays get to you even faster than everybody else. Another thing that they'll tell you for maintenance during that time that you're taking Accutane is you need to drink water. Guys, a lot of water. And I'm not saying that I did all of these things. I think I need to put a disclaimer out there. Some of these things I didn't do, so I'll tell you which ones I did and which ones I didn't. So you're told to drink a lot of water, even up to 3 liters a day. You have to drink water. The other thing that you're asked to do while you're on Accutane by the doctor is to eat fatty food. Like fatty food, like food. Like a meri, or you know the meri. Like a meri, like real food. Like no, you can't be doing like salads, what, like, you have to eat food because a drug is so strong. It's extremely strong, yeah? So you really, really, really have to eat, yeah? So you can imagine what the life is of a person who is on Accutane, okay? Now, I think one thing that the doctor didn't tell me that when I first went to take, my Accutane drugs, that I'm so glad somebody told me. She was sitting right next to me. She said, "Hi, are you going to take Accutane? I've just been in to see the doctor." Then I said, "Yes." So she said, "This is my month 5, and I want to let you know that it's going to get worse before it gets better." I thought she was joking. Hey, Jesus. In fact, there was, like, when it's worse, you literally don't want to go out of the house because now it's full-blown acne. Like, before it was bad, but now it's too much. It's too much. Anyway, that said, I want to share with you the effects that I myself got while I was on Accutane. The very first one was because I had to eat. I gained some kilos. Maybe not some, like a lot of kilos. 6 months eating real food, like literally comfort food. Yeah, I really did gain weight. And as if that wasn't enough, I didn't take the doctor's advice to drink a lot of water because I don't like water so much, and I've shared this with you guys. I drink it for seasons when I'm like, yes, healthy Manuela, let's do this, and I'll drink the water. But when I get healthy, I stop drinking the water. So I feel like my body retained a lot of water, and so I was very puffy. Like everywhere around my body, like was puffy. I had a certain thing about me that was quite, puffy. The third thing that happened to me was my anxiety, stroke depression, stroke panic attacks like went up like a notch higher. I remember once I was watching a movie and Working Moms. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. I was watching Working Moms and one of the ladies said she was going to eat Doritos. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want Doritos now. I last ate Doritos in 2017. I don't know why at this point I really wanted to eat Doritos, but I wanted to eat Doritos. I drove for about 3 hours looking for Doritos and I was a mess. I mean, I'd last eaten it 5 years ago. Why was I such a mess? You guys, I was a mess. I went to every supermarket and I was literally bawling. I called Brad, I'm like, there's no Doritos. He's like, what's Doritos? I'm like, Doritos, the snack. He's like, why don't you eat crisps? Oh my gosh, I was such a mess. When I was done, I was just like, Manuela, what was that nonsense you just did? But yeah, truthfully, and then there was a particular month when I just completely didn't get out of my bed. I just didn't. I just remained in the bedroom and yeah. Anything that could give me anxiety in the first place, I tell now, had gone up a notch higher. Then the other thing that I had was very dry skin, especially in the first 2 months. Actually, it wasn't dry, it was scaly, especially in my legs, like at the shin of my legs. Gosh, it was dry. Like you could literally see cracks through on my legs. It was not amusing. I also had very dry lips. My God, they were so dry. It was, oh my gosh, my lips were so dry. My lips were so dry. They would crack. Sometimes they would get wounds, and it was such a painful. Yeah, it was a painful experience. As if that wasn't enough, my lips were pink. So people would meet me and they would be like, oh my gosh, your lips are pink, because there was a time that was a thing. And I didn't get it because I now had an abundance of pink, and it had even gone over, like going over where my lip boundary, it was also pink. And people would just like, oh my gosh, I had pink lips. I'm like, no, they're sick lips. I was like, and it didn't help that another effect that I had of the drug was dark skin. My skin became so dark, I guess because I didn't listen to the doctor's advice about sunscreen. So I wasn't doing it every 2 hours. I was just like, hey, ain't nobody got time for that, please. So the sun did show me that. So imagine someone with a dark skin and pink lips. Yeah, right. Now you guard this. Now you guard it. And then I'd have to put lip gloss around my lips, lip balm around my lips, and gosh, it was, and then they were dry. It wasn't nice. Another effect that I had was sensitive eyes. Like my eyes got really sensitive. Like when the wind would pass, my eyes would tear. Like literally, they would tear. Another effect that I had was, on top of them being teary, they started to become blurry. Like I couldn't see up to certain places or certain words that were far away from me, and that was because of the drug. Another side effect, I'm still continuing. There are still side effects. I had so many side effects. Another side effect that I had was my scalp became extremely dry and extremely sensitive to the point that I had wounds. That my hair follicles got sick. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, you must have seen there was a time that I cut my hair. I did a blunt cut on my hair because I had a hair setback. And that hair setback had been caused by my hair follicles getting infected because my scalp was dry. And so my hair was literally in pieces, like it was falling apart. It was like literally breaking in half. Like I could do this, and this was this height, and yet this was this height. So I went to her salon, and we spoke with my my stylist, and we decided, well, you know what, let's cut that. So I had, on top of having a sensitive scalp, which whenever I would plait and braid my hair, I would get wounds that I got infected, and then now I had a hair setback. Another effect that I got, there's quite many. Let me see, joint pain. Guys, like every time I would sit and then I would stand, my hips would be on fire. My God. My hips and my back. Gosh, oh Lord, I don't want to remember. That was tight. That was really, really tight. So so all of those were what I went through while I was on Accutane. So that's how serious of a drug it is. And my effects are different from your effects, actually. So I might say this is what I went through, and that's not what you will go through. You could go through something different. There will be more or less or different. Anything can happen depending on your body. So you can only get, I want to now set that disclaimer. I'm doing these videos not because I want you to get onto Accutane, but just so I can share my story in case somebody needs it. Don't get onto Accutane unless your doctor says you should. So next week, I'm going to take you on a full-on journey of 6 months of me on Accutane. Yeah? See you next time. Bye bye.